Welcome to the Mark and Cindy Show replay, or archive it's sometimes called, here on Lone Star Internet Radio. If you don't get a good laugh out of this particular episode, well, you've probably chosen another.
You know, Mark, I was thinking since we air 4 live shows a week, we may have some serious storage issues in our archived episodes. We might have to borrow some computer data storage space that the National Security Agency has, or better known as the NSA.
Good grief. Yeah, they're downloading the show anyway, just to see if we're doing anything clandestine.
What?
Clandestine. It's a new shade of paint at Irwin-Williams. You can't even see it.
Irwin-Williams the spy?
Cindy, what say we let them listen to the show they picked?
Well, yeah, if they want to get in trouble with the NSA.
Oh, boy. Go ahead, play.
It's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in. We're gonna talk about what's going on in town.
Okay, maybe this song isn't exactly correct today because you are listening to the Mark and Cindy Show, but it's only Cindy you're going to hear. Mark is really under the weather. I just talked to him on the phone, and wow, I just wanted to call 911 after I hung up. But he's got a really bad cold, I think, and but he has flu-like symptoms. So we're hoping and praying, more than hoping, Mark, that you get better real quick. But don't push it. Just relax and enjoy the show. And you know, it's not the end of the world.
I get to fill in for him, though.
Uh-oh, that's the only setback.
My time to shine. Mark's gone.
You know, and since Richard Shishler, who you're listening to, just didn't sound right, the Richard Shishler, Cindy Cochran, Mark Hader Show. So we're just going to do
The Dick and Cindy Show.
The Dick and Cindy Show. I can't even call you that. I have to call you Richard, so it would be really difficult for me to do.
And plus, the Richie and Cindy
Richie
show.
And Cindy. I like that. And Jared would hate to have to think he had to write a new song.
He'll be fine with it.
Mark, you have to get better. But it's cold out there.
It is.
Goodness, it is so cold.
It is.
And it's January 6, 2014. So this show has lasted a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're in our new year. And this is the first show we've had since 2014. We've been off a lot. We've had a good time. And you've gotten to hear all our archive shows. And we are on YouTube.
Yes.
Can we talk about that now?
Yeah, we're shifting all the archives to YouTube.
Right, and we're doing that in anticipation of our GoPros that will be set up, and we'll be...
Oh, we'll have video. We won't be broadcasting in video, but our archives will be in video.
Yeah,
it's
kind
of weird. It's kind of weird at first, but it's the baby steps.
That's right. And this way we can go in and edit and filter anything that looks bad.
Well, realistically, I'm trying to see if y'all look good on camera, because
okay.
I can't just let y'all stream out to the world.
Maybe we shouldn't tell anybody about what the website will be. I mean, what the address will be until...
Mark's not really sick. We just don't want to show him.
That's right. He was afraid today was the GoPro day. But no, Mark, Richard did show me the different angles we're going to do. So I really got to get in shape, or I've got to have somebody, maybe I can put like some kind of cardboard figure sitting here and then I can call in the show. I don't know. It's going to be interesting for us to be here. I've always wanted to be on radio, and now we're going to be on TV, so I don't know. It's weird. But a lot of things have happened since we've been live on the air, and one of them, it's just funny to me, and because it's so cold right now, that I thought, there's a perfect song and a perfect story to go with this, is that these 52 global warming believing scientists got on a ship. And on this ship, they were going out to check up on the global warming activity in the Antarctica. But what happened was, the ship got frozen in the water. Now, this is a humongous ocean, right? And the ship got stuck in the water. as it's going to study the
That happens a lot, actually.
global warming thing. But it's the irony of it? It's the irony of it that's so funny. And so then the Russians were called out to help. The Chinese were called out to help. You know, their ships got stuck. They couldn't make it.
Can you imagine if they were Scientologists?
Oh, that would be...
They would just be stuck.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone...
Yeah, that's right. But because they're out there checking on the global warming, and when I say that, I'm doing the quotation marks. And so they're checking on that. And so they had to send in a helicopter finally. They're out there, you know, for days and days. And finally they send a helicopter out and rescue them and then rescue the rescuers off the other ships to get them back in. Now, before the scientists left, they had decided that they would have to plant 800 trees to cover the carbon footprint they made with this, you know, exploration trip they were going to make. After having, you know, the number of vessels that tried to get to them, and then the Chinese and the Russians getting stuck in there, and then the helicopter going to try and get all these people off of the ships, they're still trying right now today, figuring out how many trees they're going to have to plant to cover what they feel like the damage that they've done with this trip. But what was interesting to me is that the media, the press, they dropped the global warming reason for this exploration. They dropped it. And it wasn't in the accounts when they were talking about the rescue and all that. It was just a rescue mission, and that was all it was. But they weren't talking about why they were out there anymore, because what an embarrassment that was. I mean, they were sitting there probably thinking, "Where is global warming when we need it?" It wasn't happening for them. So, I saw the irony in it. Don't you see that, Richard? The irony in that's what they were out there to do.
What's even better is there's a calculator on the internet that you can type in your carbon footprint, and it tells you how many trees you need to plant. So they don't really need to calculate anything. They just need to go to americanforest.org/discoveryforest/carbon calculator, and then they can solve all their issues.
Well, you've heard that first on the Mark and Cindy show, and now you know where to go. But that carbon footprint that they're going to have to cover, that they got stuck down their mouth for, you know, going and proclaiming that there's problems in the Antarctica and it's melting. Everything's melting. It's not happening. So anyway, we move on, and we feel like that maybe this year will help, you know, maybe stem the tide of all that. And Al Gore is just really wondering what to do next with his life. Right? Don't you think?
There's always more causes in the future.
You think so? You think he'll find it? I
yeah.
hope so. I hope he does.
He's just got to look good while doing it.
He'll just go get a massage, another massage. That's true. Do you remember that story?
No, I don't. I don't believe anything you say, really.
Now, see, you know, and that's
Where's
why.
the receipt, Cindy? Where's your carbon footprint receight?
That's why I needed the guests that I had promoted on my.
They're gonna.
I promoted these guests on the
internet.
No, on the Facebook. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And they called and said they could not be here in person in the flesh, but they would call in. So I'm expecting them to call in. But I do have a Billy Bob Thornton sound-alike that's supposed to be calling in quickly, and someone that you know, and hopefully he'll make it.
Well, hopefully
in.
he gives me an update about the new coach. That's what
I want to talk about, and how everybody's feeling about that guy. He's got a lot of good press. I mean, everybody's hailing him as he is the one that's going to do it.
You can't really get any more negative press if you're part of the old Texans. I think anything new, you'll be welcomed, open arms.
When do they do the pick that we're going to get the first pick, right? Now that we're the worst?
Well, there's talk of the trading the pick, too.
Well,
you hold a lot of cards when you have the first pick of the draft, NFL draft.
Aren't we only after a quarterback? Isn't that what our big deal is now, that we want a quarterback that can throw and not throw it to the other people? Isn't that what we're looking for?
I don't know. Does anyone really know what they're after right now?
Well, I don't know. They just want this to go away.
A new coaching staff, because I'm pretty sure he fired everyone else. Can you imagine being a person on the old coaches?
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you, there's some guy, medicine guy, and he was probably the best medicine guy there is. And then he's like, he loves his job, and then now he's like, oh, you're part of the old staff. You're fired.
How many guys picked up the phone call and said, hey, honey, don't buy anything else on time? We've got a caller, and hopefully this is our Billy Bob Thornton.
I believe it's Jimmy.
It is. Okay. Hey, Jimmy. Hello, Jimmy. How do
Hello,
you?
how are you doing?
Poor Jimmy. Jimmy has had the flu all week. All this, all year of 2014, you've had the flu, right?
I blame global warming for my flu.
He was stuck on the ship with Mark.
Poor,
On the ship with Mark. We were
poor.
going to Antarctica to prove that global warming exists.
That's
And
right.
apparently it does, because everything is frozen down there, because that means it's really warm. Ice warm.
That's right.
I don't get it.
Dude, it was 20 degrees in Willis this morning when I woke up. It feels like 13. It is amazing how cold we are right here. So it's just hard to make that, to convince people of global warming. I don't know. I don't get it. But I know a lot of people think I'm real stupid because I don't believe
Well,
it.
no, I think what it is the name they gave it, global warming.
Yeah.
Because we've had proven ice ages,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's kind of hard to convince somebody when you're using the opposite word for what you're
That's-
trying to describe. I mean, it's more of like climate change or climate. I mean, I don't know. Global warming is such an easy word to make up.
I
I'll say
agree.
this. I remember something you said, Cindy, when this all started, this talk about 20, 25 years ago, this global warming thing. And you said this when I was a kid, and I'll never, ever forget it. You said, the earth goes through cycles. There's no way that man can destroy God's creation. The earth always goes through these cycles, goes through these tropical wave ages, it goes through these ice ages, that there's no way we will ever destroy what God created. I'll never forget that.
Good. Jimmy, something I said has lived on. That's so great. I appreciate that. And I believe that. I certainly believe that. When he's ready, it'll be his time. But we want to talk about your expertise in and I hate to say this word. I know it's hard to Texans. After their 14 perfect losing streak, and now they're set up to make their choice. Do you have any insight on what they're looking at for a trade or for a pick first round?
Do you want to say quarterback right away? But it really doesn't look like there's just a deep quarterback draft like there's been in the last 2 years. You're not going to find Andrew Luck in this draft. You're not going to find, RG3 has not turned out so well, but you're not going to find anything like him. They're talking about this Bridgewater kid, I believe he plays at Louisville. And then you got some people wanting Johnny Manziel, but I don't think that any team's going to pick him that high just because of his height alone. 6'1" is not considered very tall as an NFL quarterback.
Well, I just can't imagine this new coach. Besides, I'd like if you get your insight. Do you like the new coach that we're getting?
I'm not too sure about him. I mean, now we're starting to pull all these guys, that were, in the former Patriots organization, just like previously, we're pulling everybody from the Denver organization. That's where Kubiak came from.
Uh-huh.
That's where the general manager of the Texans came from. He was in the Denver organization as well. And, I mean, the Patriots organization, okay, they have a winning tradition. I mean, that's a good thing. I don't know much about this coach. He's never actually been a head coach on the NFL level. I believe he's been the coordinator with the Patriots.
Well, he's gotten really good press. Everybody's so excited because it's just different, I guess, and going into this next season. But I just thought it was pitiful that when Peyton Manning, when they played, it was the second to last game or the last game Peyton Manning was
Second to last.
Second to last, yeah. And they didn't even say any of the stats or what happened in that game with the Texans. They never even mentioned the Texans' name. They just talked about Peyton Manning and the
record,
whatever record he broke. Yeah, that's all they talked about. I mean, it was pitiful. They didn't even acknowledge in the post game. It's like the Texans weren't there.
Who remembers the losers, Cindy?
No, they usually say, so the Texans got this and the whatever got that, but they didn't even say their name. It was just...
You can find out on the 5th page of the sports section of the Houston Chronicle.
Yeah,
okay?
They buried it. Jimmy...
I mean, yes.
I was just going to say, so the Rockets are who you were looking for, right? That's going to be what we're going to have fun with when you call in. We're going to talk about Rockets.
I hope so. That's Comcast would make it where people could watch the games. But let me not get on a rant about the town.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And we're up against a break, so I've got to go. But I want you to give me one more Billy Bob Thornton, line to leave.
Oh, Swing Blade. I reckon he's a pretty good little old feller. You know what? I really like French fried taters and Western biscuits.
Jimmy, you're great. I can't wait for 2014. We're going to have a good time, and you got to get over your cold, except I really do like that voice. And we will talk to you soon, okay? Go get some sleep.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Love you. Bye-bye. Okay, so that's Jimmy the Greek Cirillo. His last name is Cirillo.
Okay.
So he is right there.
I believe you.
And,
I believe you.
No, and I have a receipt for that somewhere in my purse. I know. Okay, so anyway, we're going to go and listen to some messages that you need to hear and think about and concentrate on. And hopefully we'll be able to talk to the owners of Silver Rock Productions after we get back and talk about the awards they've won, except they didn't make it here in person. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're still going to talk to them. You're listening to the Mark and Cindy Show with Only Cindy here at Lone Star Radio. We'll be right back.
Very nice.
I'll hold your hands. They're just like
My mother will start to worry.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today. So remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org. That's JUNQUE for more information and store hours.
Do you ever wonder what's going on in the business community? Are you looking for ways to get plugged in? Cassandra Roshan here, Director of Membership Development with the Greater Conroe, Lake Conroe Area Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to invite you to tune in to Chamber Chat. Tune in the first Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. so you will be in the know for all Chamber happenings for the month. Each month, the Chamber offers 2 free lunch and learn sessions, a networking breakfast, business after hours, membership luncheon, as well as many other special events throughout the year. I will give you a rundown of all programs and events for the month, as well as interview our speakers and hosts of these events. So grab a cup of coffee and tune in to Chamber Chat the first Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. Chat with you then.
So really I'd better scurry.
beautiful. Please don't
Well,
hurry.
maybe just a half a drink
Put
more.
some records on while I
The neighbors might think.
Baby, it's bad.
Baby, it's cold outside. It is so cold. We have not had cold like this for a while, and enjoying it because it's dry. It's not the wet cold, so it's not too bad today. But I promised that we would have the owners of Silver Rock Productions, very prestigious production house in the Woodlands, to talk to today, and they're having to call it in. That's okay, guys. They're calling it in, and we're going to be talking to Mike Huffine, Brian Falcon, owners of Silver Rock Productions. And are you there, guys?
Hey, we're here.
Okay.
We are here.
Y'all sound great, man. So you're on 2 separate phone lines, right?
You're not stuck on a boat, are you?
Not today.
Okay.
We were headed down to Galveston, which is why we need to phone this in.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what it is? Oh, you're so
Yeah.
bad. You're so bad. I've been trying to get you guys on so we can talk about your award that you received for the Sam Houston documentary. And I wanted you to tell me a little bit about that, but mostly I wanted you to talk to me. Hello, I wanted you to talk to me about the history of Silver Rock and how it all got started. So tell me about the award first. What was it about and for?
Which
Brian?
award was that?
Brian, I know you've won so many. The one that you have hanging where everybody
turn
hits it.
around, look at your cabinet, see you know that just the one you have, the one.
No, the one that you got hanging from the ceiling, and when people walk in, they hit it in the face, and they go like, "Oh, what's that?" And then you go, "Oh, well, let me tell you about our award."
That one. Oh, it's the one that we keep Cindy's picture next to.
I believe it.
Yeah, right.
I believe it.
Me on Johnny Carson, is that the one?
Yes, yeah. Well, I think we ought to talk about when Cindy was on Johnny Carson.
Oh no, it's been so done.
Can you put that in an award
Twice.
form? And it hits you in the face every time you walk into the room.
When you do that, could you replace that Texas flag with that picture of me? We'll put a
Picture of
poster up.
you.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so tell me about the award.
Oh, Mike can tell you more.
Well, he told me that you could.
Well, who's the one that
here's the
accepted
button,
it?
By the way, go ahead and get under it. Well, we've been working on the Sam Houston documentary for about 7 years, and,
Yes.
and
That's right.
the final of it was to make certain that it got on the air. We feel like it was a story that had not been told and needed to be by all the new Texans that are out there, both born and that got here as fast as they could. The story of Sam Houston. Fortunately, PBS picked it up, and it aired all across Texas and Tennessee, and I think one other state. I'm not sure where that was, but here in Texas, because we were able to get on the air, we were nominated for an Emmy Award, and consequently won it for I don't know, what does it say on your award there, Brian? Best documentary or something like that?
Something like that. Best documentary not starring Cindy Cochran.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
that is so good. I'm
yeah,
so proud of
the
y'all.
only one that's been good that didn't have Cindy Cochran in it.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
that was a fluke.
It's outstanding achievement in documentary for historical. Wait, hysterical. I read it wrong.
Yeah,
Not
that's right.
historical.
Yeah, Denton is. I hope Denton is listening to this. Tell us
I hope
the
he was,
name
too.
of the name of the producer, director.
Denton Florian came to us back in, I think, 2005, wanting to produce this piece, and we told him to, that's great, son. Talk to me when you get a little bit of money, and he went and got some money and made it possible. You know, these things do require a little bit of budget when you're trying to make them. So he was fortunate enough and had some friends and investors come on board, as well as a lot of grant writing time that he was able to make it all happen. And he is the executive producer and is still seeing this thing through to the very end.
Bitter end. I have never seen a group of people so dedicated. Every time I would come in there, it was Sam Houston this, Sam Houston that. He's just bigger than life.
Yeah.
And I just wondered, how many shots of the statue did y'all have in the documentary?
Well, truthfully, I don't think any.
I don't think there's any.
What?
I don't think we
You did not?
included that at all. No.
Okay. Well, I just
Sam Houston, as big of a man as Sam Houston was, he's bigger than that statue. I'll be honest.
No, I think
he is the father of Texas.
Well,
I think so, more so than Stephen F. So
you know him so well.
I know
Stephen
people
F.
would argue with me on that.
Yeah, no, I'm so proud of y'all because I saw the behind the scenes and how hard you guys worked on that, and it was amazing. And Denton and his persistence, I just kudos to him as well, and I'm so proud of y'all. Tell me about what year Silver Rock got started. Now make this.
Oh boy, you're reaching down in the archives now.
Make this Reader's Digest, for me.
Reader's Digest, 1990. I think 1993. Brian and I decided to do something. We were originally Texas boys, both of us, and we moved to Florida to pursue some video careers in ballroom dance. Not together, but
it was paying money.
I mean, who would have thought?
We did do that.
Hey, let's go to Florida and do ballroom dancing. But it was good though, because it did.
That's what they said.
It did fund a lot of things.
Well, and that's where we decided to create Silver Rock Productions, because we kind of got we wanted to spread our wings a little bit. Dancing wasn't enough for us, and we needed to do a little bit more. So we dove into the business side of production and started looking to see what was around and what was available to us.
And finally charging for what you were doing.
Yeah.
That's in the 1997. So y'all had been in the Woodlands how long? Or not Woodlands. Oak Ridge.
Right. Well, we did incorporate the business in '94 or '95, and moved out to Oak Ridge, where we reunited with you in, I think it was '97. It was either the last part of '96 or early '97.
Yeah, I just done a film commercial, and I was looking for someone that had the equipment that could transfer or to transfer to.
Oh yeah, the 16 millimeter film. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And Mike calls me. It was so fun. I was at Time Warner. Mike calls me and says, "Do you remember me?" Because the last time I seen Mike, he was at a towel boy at a workout. What was it? Workout. What was the name of that?
Workout Etc.
Workout Etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Workout Etc. And so,
Yeah.
and him and his curly hair and how he. And remembering, never thinking that's what he would end up doing. I thought he would be, a cruise director, the entertainment director on a cruise line. I just thought because
wow. People are going to get the wrong idea about me, Cindy.
Oh no,
between ballroom dancing and being a cruise director.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so Michael calls.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. Michael calls and says, "Hey, Cindy, do you remember me?" And I went, "Oh, Mike, yes." And so, anyway, he says, "I have a production company now, and we're in the Woodlands." And I was like, "Oh, that's great." And at that time, I just retired from Time Warner and went over there and we started editing, and it was so great. The reunion was so great. They are so brilliant, so creative. Brian and his editing, and Mike and his creative. You were doing all of the. You were doing all the graphic arts at that time, and shooting, and everybody. You were doing everything. Y'all were all like a one-man show.
We did.
So
a one-man show, but it took two of us.
Yeah, but it took two. And then I joined that. So it was so much fun. And what I had wanted to do, if you guys could have come in here, was to go through a lot of the things that you guys have experienced and what we experienced
together. There is a
together.
tomorrow, Cindy.
Oh, you think they'll call back for part 2?
Well, I mean, they can come in later. It's not like today's the only day they can be on your show.
Well, that's true. But now see, we spoil the surprise of it and everything. It's just no. Mark may be gone again tomorrow, so I may call y'all and say. So anyway, let's pick up where we left off, because we're up against our.
Wait, this is a daily. I didn't know the show was daily. I thought it was once a week.
No,
I think the judge's order said she had to for how long?
Shut up. I'm so glad we didn't get into any more. Okay, all right. So I'm up against a hard break. Doesn't that sound? It sounds so professional. And I'm going to have to let you go. And I know Brian needs to leave. But thank you guys for giving me this much of your time. You award-winning people,
Well, Cindy, I got to tell you, in everything that we've ever done and all that we've done together, none of it has ever been as sweet as when we did it with you.
That was so sweet.
We miss you.
I miss you too. I can't wait to
doing all this great work here on the radio station.
And I will I'll see y'all soon. And but anyway, I will tell everybody I know, Silver Rock Productions is the way to go if you need something to produce, commercials or anything else. Silver Rock Productions is who you need to call. Yeah. And that number is no. Okay, so anyway, it'll be on our website, and this is on our archive, so everything you said nice, I'll replay it back and forth and everything, so you can just remember.
It'd be her new on-hold message.
That's right. Okay, Michael Huffine, Brian Falcon,
thanks for having us.
Owners of Silver Rock Productions. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Be careful. Stay warm.
Thanks for having us. Bye-bye now.
We're so late. I'm sorry. But they're just so much fun to talk to. You're on the Mark and Cindy Show, and I'm just Cindy here because Mark is not feeling well. Get well, Mark. Lone Star Internet Radio. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Joyce with the Corner Pub in downtown Conroe. We're located at the corner of Simonton and North Main, just across the street from the courthouse. The week starts off Monday with open mic, hosted by Alan, and Tuesday nights open mic, hosted by Jeremy Bankhead. And on Thursday evening, McFarland Jams. There's nightly drink specials available every night, all night. And don't forget, live entertainment every weekend. To see a full list of events, visit our website at thecornerpubinconroe.com. So come join us at the Corner Pub, where the deli is open late.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home.
Oh yeah, John Denver. Rocky Mountain High. I thought he was always talking about a high school. You know, like Rocky Mountain High is where he went to school and stuff. I was so stupid. I didn't understand.
Wow.
I know. But oh Colorado, or however you say it. What's the way they like it?
I can't believe you cheapened the song to segue into what you're trying to talk about. You know how good that song is?
It's a beautiful song, and it was always so beautiful to me.
It's
I
about
love
nature.
That song. Yeah.
It's not about what you want to bring up.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's just there. It's the big white elephant in the room. It's that they have now made it legal to smoke pot, weed. What do they like to call it?
I don't. That's one thing I'm really curious about. Like, if you go into the store, because to me it's like one thing. You know, it's like, do you really have to have a whole store full of it? Like, you just have one of them.
No, and they do. They have people were in there and they were like sniffing it, but I was like they were the bouquet of it. And,
well, I imagine like wine people do the same.
Well, you
and
can't
then
trill
tobacco people do the same, I suppose. Like if you're really into that kind of stuff, because I've seen wine people sniff wine all the time.
I know, but this is a nasty looking, brown looking plant.
You ever seen tobacco?
Right. No,
Yeah.
I agree with that as well. I mean, I agree with that's
cigars. Same thing.
Stink
people,
as well.
People smell cigars,
and people go like, "Oh, the aroma of that." I don't get it. It just doesn't smell good to me. And but the way they were treating this was so funny. And these $100 bills are just like they were putting out, and how much money they made. So now New York. Have you seen New York is now looking at
how they posted
legalizing
the
it.
tax revenue they made since I guess it's open for a week now.
Mhm.
So I'll wait for the tax revenue.
Yeah, well,
because they have like 4 taxes on purchasing marijuana.
Well, it's very expensive.
I believe 3.
I'll tell you what I think is the funniest is now the signs came up immediately. No smoking weed in this area. You know, like like all the, but I'm sure everybody thought now I can just go out and I can, you know, it's like here I am. I can smoke this stuff and it's legalized, but they still are so restricted in where they can
do it. Yeah,
they can they think they can come out of their houses now and do this out in public. And
well,
it's
most
great.
importantly, they can purchase it legally. Because if you ever been involved with an illegal drug operation, it's just not fun.
No, I
imagine.
I haven't. Am I talking to someone? You read about it, right?
This isn't really a radio station. This is where my drug operation is.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm sitting here in front of this plate glass window, and you're saying stuff like that.
It's a joke.
I know you've never probably.
No. But no,
you've never done.
But realistically,
anything like
that's probably where the first step was, is because people. I mean, maybe more people will do it now since it's legal. Maybe that's the idea.
Well,
I don't really know.
Of course they will. I mean, and it was funny is there was a reporter that was, I think it was on the eve of it being legalized, went to the high school and wanted to talk to the high school kids about what they thought about it and how this was going to affect them. And
do you know the age limit? Is it 21? I hope it's 21.
Well, I saw 18, and then I saw 21 on the door. It says you have to be over 21, and one said you have to be over 18. So
it should be 55. Like when you get your AARP card, that's when you're allowed. That's what you have to bring in is your AARP.
The AARP. That's great. Yeah, this you can start purchasing this with your pension.
Card. I can't buy marijuana.
That's right. Come on. I haven't been carded in so long. I don't get it, but anyway. So. But they went to these high school kids, and the reporter's asking this real intelligent question, like, how do you feel that this will impact, kids your age? What do you think is going to happen? Do you feel like this is going to encourage you to smoke more or start smoking at all? Anyway, the student starts laughing through half the question because he's going, this is funny to us that they're making a big deal out of it because it's never been difficult to get anyway. I don't know why they're making a big thing about it. And she says, do you mean that you feel like there are students that that do this? Students, everybody does this. I maybe a couple of people come to class.
Well, it's been a couple
sober.
of years when you could have it on you, or they can have like a limit on you. Couldn't you in Colorado?
I don't know.
You're allowed to possess a certain amount.
Well, they are certainly. The student, they didn't even have a thing over his face. He talked about all the people.
It takes baby steps, and that's what they're doing.
You think there's a lot of good that'll come from this, or?
Well, I think there's a lot of opportunities, especially for tax revenue. I think it's really funny because if you ever talk to people who are high, it's just like people who are drunk. That's the way I see it. I'm like, oh, they're obviously under the influence of something other than life, like John Denver was, but. Right. That's the way I see it. I'm like, all right, and if they get in a wreck, then it's just like drinking too much alcohol and getting in a wreck. It's going to be the same thing. It changes you, changes what your personality is and all that stuff, just like any other type of alcohol or other drug, prescription drugs. Or
do you believe it's a myth then that smoking pot would lead to anything else once you've decided to do that?
No.
And that you'll do something a little harder? No. You don't feel like that's any. You don't think that the kids...
Well, if anything, it will help it because a lot of situations when you're dealing with an illegal substance, there's more illegal activity going on. Mm-hmm. But now that's a legal substance, that other activity isn't going to be surrounding it. So, do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes, I understand that. And that was the same case with alcohol. They thought, if we legalize this, everything will be okay, and people won't get drunk and...
go do other stupid stuff,
kill their family members and all that. Yeah, but I think it's funny because they think the revenue that's going to come in will help pay for a lot of the side effects that happens with people that get into this.
Well, it's the same thing with cigarettes. I mean, cigarettes are taxed. Like half of the money you're paying for cigarettes is going through taxes. That's crazy. Same thing with alcohol. I mean, I remember the first time I was out of the country and it was duty-free area, how much cheaper alcohol was. And it really freaked me out. I was like, man, how can I pay $90 for this bottle in the States, and here I'm paying $35? Like, that world, I was like, how does that work? But then I was like, all that other money is going to the state. I'm like, that's smart. I mean, exploit our weaknesses, right? That's what I would do.
Well, I remember when they started when we brought the lottery to the state.
Yeah.
And I remember the mayor at that time saying to sell this to the people, all this money that we receive from the lottery is going to education and will be there to help build up and for the future of the children and all that. And I dare you to find where that has ever happened, what it ever did for the education. But they used that to try and sell us voting on and saying it's okay for us to have the lottery here. And it's pitiful. I mean, it's pitiful what we get sucked into.
It's kind of like the toll road.
Yeah. I so agree. Oh, that drives me crazy. I think we ought to just go ahead and just drive on through those lanes and wave at the people and break down the barriers and say, we've paid enough. We've driven on this long enough. This should be paid for, and the plants that you planted along the way.
It's the same situation with the tobacco and alcohol tax. I mean, they're never going to give that up, and they're going to increase it.
Yeah.
And that's why the way I see marijuana is exactly the same way I see alcohol. It's just that's the way it is.
The government becomes like the drug dealers. Will get you in very cheap, and it's going to take over, and the market will take it and drive it, and it'll be up so high because they know they can charge that. I hate it. It's so sad to me. I hate that.
Oh, you hate that they're overcharging people for marijuana?
No, that they just keep putting the stuff on the market saying, well, it's legalized. Now the kids don't have to, go and sneak and get it. Now they can do it out in the open, and everybody knows.
Don't just say just the kids.
Well, to me, they're kids. At 65, everybody's a kid.
You're
a child.
You got your AARP card, yeah.
Yes, I take mine in there. They card me for the 8.
I wonder if there is a senior discount.
That's an interesting question.
I don't know if they even have that for alcohol. Never mind. I don't think that's even...
I want to tell you something. In the movies, the senior discount is a joke. I mean, it's like 50 cents or $1.
Oh, you get a discount. That's a joke?
It's a joke because it's like 50. Oh, it's not. It's $8 to get in. Let's see. What did we pay? $10 the other night. Sam, I know you'll find this so hard to believe. Sam actually took me on a romantic weekend to the Woodlands. We made
took me to Colorado, where we visited our first dispensary.
No, we went to the Woodlands, and he wanted to go see. Oh, I just hate to say this. He wanted to go see Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
I can't even say that. Oh, do not go see that.
You need to. This is what I tell my mother and my dad. I was like, call me before you go see a movie, because I can tell you right up, that movie will not be for you. You will not enjoy it.
It was so bad. I need to understand what someone would enjoy about that movie. A lot of it was, you could tell, was improv, and Scorsese usually doesn't do that. I don't see it in a lot of his movies, but it was a lot of improv, and they were just having a high old time in that whole movie. But the F word being used.
Well, one thing I'm trying to help you out with is look at the ratings. As in, it's rated R, and today's rated R is out of control. That's what I expect. Every time I go see a rated R movie, I'm going to see some nudity. I'm going to see some boy and girl nudity. I mean, might as well just accept it. That's the way it is.
It was horrible. I mean, the whole thing, it was just bad. It was just bad. And I have to tell all my friends, after I got out of that movie, I was like shaded my eyes because I thought, oh, I hope I don't see anybody I know. And I made Sam go see Frozen twice, just to try and get it out of our system. That was so terrible.
Well, you really can tell by, like, say, last year's big movie. Was it last year's Lincoln? Lincoln was PG-13.
Right.
But that was an adult movie.
Yeah, it was.
I believe The King's Speech was PG-13. That was 2010. So I mean, really, when you're looking at movies, I would consider the rating rated R. Like, it's almost a promise. It's like, hey, it's rated R because we're not just going to say the F word once. We're going to say it 15 plus times.
well, to me, when they say it, it becomes funny because they're not even using it. It doesn't even make sense in the way that they're using it.
I always enjoy it when you're watching the older period movies, like especially like the war movies. They're just saying the F word all the time. It's like, I'm pretty sure the F word back then was like a taboo word.
Right. Same thing. And cowboy movies. Why would you're supposed to be real authentic cowboy movies? Yeah, well, no, I don't know why
like
they
not
let
even
them
hard,
say that.
Not even bad donkeys would say that kind of stuff.
Right.
They wouldn't even.
Was terrible.
It's almost like damning God. They would never allow it.
Right. But it was funny because Blue Velvet had held the record for the most F words used, and then this came along and has taken that honor, and so that's really cool. But anyway, so don't go see that. Go see Walk with the Dinosaurs or something.
Go to Colorado. Right?
No, don't. Oh, I did that too loud. Sorry. Yeah. No, don't go to Colorado. Anyway, stay with us, and we'll be right back after this and try and receive some forgiveness for what my eyes have seen.
But the string's already broken, and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast, and it don't last for long.
The East Texas Dream Center is in need of your help. We are a nonprofit Christian organization that houses women and children who are trying to get their lives back after being homeless, abused, or addicted. We are conveniently located at 301 South First Street, Conroe, Texas, 77301, right here in Montgomery County. Our needs are financial and every needs of gasoline, cleaning supplies, laundry soap, Lysol, and whatever else God puts in your heart. To help our ladies and children, please consider a donation. You may visit our website at www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Again, so you don't forget, it's www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Donations are tax deductible. Remember what Jesus said, with God, nothing is impossible.
Texas Travel Baseball Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio with your host Shannon Spencer. Every Friday at 1 p.m. we will talk Texas Youth Travel Baseball, bringing you the results from all major Texas sanctions, upcoming tournaments, and Texas Travel Baseball's own Team of the Week and statewide rankings. We will feature special guests from the youth team coaches, former Major League Baseball players, college coaches, and you. Give us a call during our show at the Lone Star call-in line, 936-647-3776. If you missed the show, check out our archives at TexasTravelBaseballHour.com and IRLoneStar.com. So catch the Texas Travel Baseball Hour every Friday at 1 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Gosh, your lips look delicious.
My brother will be there at the
Waves
door.
upon a tropical shore.
My maiden aunt's mind is
Ooh,
vicious.
your lips are delicious.
You're back on the Mark and Cindy Show. Mark Hader, Cindy Cochran, and it is cold outside, baby. It is cold. Listen, normally, Mark will do the inspirational moment, the encouraging word right now.
That's
yeah,
what he calls it.
Encouraging word, yeah. He does it right. And we need to be praying for Mark's health and for him to get well. And
He's got Kay. You know she's taking care of him.
you know, well, I hope she didn't have to go to work today. I hope she stayed home with him.
What she needs to do, though, is when she's taking care of him, she needs to realize what her carbon footprint is and go in on the calculator, and so she can replant the trees.
That's right. That she's disturbed the whole environment with.
See, Mark, this is what you costed me. 4 trees.
That's right. Mark would have loved to be on this discussion. We may have to have it again whenever he comes back. But Mark, you get better. And I want to remind you that the weekly business hour will be coming up, and Rick Schischler's guest today will be Cody Spence with the All-Star Catering. And I would love to talk to that guy. We may have to have him on. Anything about food and how they plan for that would be interesting to me. And also, you might ask Rick what he thinks about the business end of the new cannabis business that's going on. Isn't that the correct word for it?
Cannabis? I guess. Cannabis. I don't know.
Cannabis?
They pick a word every week. Okay. So.
The pot that they're smoking, and see what he thinks about how that's going to help the economy there in Colorado. Okay. Here's the
encouraging
word.
Encouraging word.
Come on, brain. I need to take my meds. Okay. There's a new movie that's going to be coming out, and it's going to be one of those where it's the swell comes from the underground of Christianity, and those who feel that they have really been attacked in this last year. The Christianity has been attacked. The movie's called God's. It says God's Dead, and then it has a big sign that this kid is putting up under it says not. And what happens is this kid goes to college, and he gets in with this college professor who's the first thing he asks him to do is to recite the words, God is dead. And the kid tells the professor he can't. So this professor says, you know what you're going to do? You're going to have to prove that he's not dead. So that's your assignment. And then in the movie is this guy going in and doing his research and things that he could say and what he would do to convince this professor. The trailer is amazing. If you'll go to God's Not Dead, themovie.com, God's Not Dead, themovie.com, and watch that trailer. And it's even got Willie Robertson in it, and that's cool. So they've incorporated those guys into the movie as well. So it sounds like it's going to be really, really good, and they probably need your support. Okay, everybody, we're about out here, and there's Jared Starrett with the Mark and Cindy Show theme song. And hopefully Mark will be better to be here tomorrow. If not, just keep praying for him that he feels better. Thank you, guys. We love you, but we don't love you as much as God does. See ya.
On the Mark and Cindy Show. It's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy.
Your name is first.
Hey, we're just joking here, folks. She's just joking. The only time we got in trouble with the authorities was in that episode we aired Monday. Or was it the Wednesday one?
No, the Wednesday one was where Yo-Yo Man was our guest. Fell off his stool and fractured his viola.
Cello. He's a cellist.
Oh, well, I know that. But it was his viola he fractured. You know, the bone that makes you sit up straight?
Say goodbye, Cindy.
Goodbye, Cindy.
And thanks for tuning in to the Mark and Cindy Show. Remember, we air live Monday through Thursday from 10 to 11 in the morning, and Friday is the best of. Thanks again. This is Mark Hader with Cindy Cochran signing off.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.